Hey everyone, it's John Benson again for day 6. So we're day 6 of Persuade and Profit Live here on Facebook. And today we're going to be talking about future-paced persuasion. So I'm a minute early so I can get everyone on and get the chats happening and all that kind of good stuff, because you know what's going to happen. But people that comment, you know what's happening. The best commenter at the end of the week, which is Thursday, it's going to go all the way to Thursday, we're going to take and we're going to put you into a private coaching session with me and 3 other people. So that's a $2,500 gift for the best commentator, the best comments, the top comments. So we can't do bullshit comments. We have to do real comments. So please do that. And even more brownie points if you're cool enough to share this stuff with other people so we can spread this stuff around. Awesome. So that's the contest we're running, and it's going to be cool. We're going to do that every week for the next, well, this is the first week, so we're going to do 3 more weeks after this, and we'll see how we go. Hey, Randall, good to see you, man. And everyone come on, say hello, say, say, hey, what's going on, Bugger? Good to see you. Everyone come on that wants to learn about future-paced persuasion. This sounds like a pretty techie stuff, but it really isn't. It's just going to be the most important marketing lesson that you'll learn. If this is the most important marketing lesson you learn this week, then I'll be shocked, because this really is the key to speaking your customers' buying language. So please do this. Okay, I'm going to go off into a little bit of a tangent here in relationships. Oh, hey, Scott. Scott says hello. Hey, cool. Terry, thank you so much. Mogun's in here. Randall's in here. We're testing those comments. Awesome. Cool, guys. Thanks a lot for showing up. And a couple things. Have you heard how many of you have heard the name of the book, read the book, The 5 Love Languages? Just say, comment, and see if you have. So I know there's a little delay on the comments, so I'm going to assume that most of you either heard of it or read it. So very much like I say a lot, the love languages that is one of the most important things you can learn in any sort of relationship, whether it's partners or friends or whatever, to learn how to speak the language that they receive love in. Well, there's no difference when it comes down to making sales, except love is more fun than selling. But other than that, it's the same thing. Your customers have a buying language, and it's a language that they're using on their own. Now, you can't go one-to-one unless you're a door-to-door salesperson or whatever, but you can get the conglomerate language that they're speaking, the average words that they're using, and speak back their words to them. So if any of you guys, hey, what's going on? So if any of you guys have heard of this, imago therapy. Imago therapy is something that's really cool. It's great for couples to go through, great if you're married or you're dating someone, because you'll learn to hear what the other person's hearing. And so, or rather, you'll learn to echo back what the other person is saying. Versus, and when the first time you try this, you'll probably be kind of shocked to find out that, like, wow, that person said this and I heard this, and just 2 different things, right? But you can literally use the words that they're using back to them, and they feel completely heard and understood. And that's the key to the therapy. Now, there's more to it than that. But this is the same thing we're going to be talking about today, only from the prospect of selling somebody. Now, selling somebody, non-negative word, not a bad word, not a dirty word, not a 4-letter word. Selling is good. Everything, look around you right now. Everything that you see around you right now, except your children, except your spouse, maybe, except things that are alive, was sold to you. And even if you have a dog or a cat, it was probably sold to you too. So selling is a good thing. It's just doing unethical selling is a bad thing. Ethical selling is a great thing. So the way we want to persuade somebody is through ethical means. And one of the best ways you can do that and make someone feel really awesome at the same time is to use the words they're using. So we're talking about future pacing today, okay? It's pacing in general, but it's future and present, okay? That's really a misnomer in the title. It should have just been, rather than future mode, it should have just been pacing mode. So that's a typo. I'm actually going to change that, because that's literally what the name of this is. So I'm going to hide this and change it, because it's actually pacing mode. And pacing is 2 parts. So as I type, okay, there we go. Oh, okay, got it right. What do I know? I'm just the guy teaching this stuff. So yeah, the echo technique. Alexander says it's very much like the echo technique. Yes. So pacing comes in 2 forms that we're going to talk about today. Very simple to do this, okay? It just takes a little bit of wordsmithing to do the future pacing, but the present pacing is really easy. Present pacing, it's the words that someone's using right now to describe their problem. That's basically what it is. So if I come to you and say, man, you know what? My opens suck. My open rate sucks. My opens are just terrible. And then somebody sends me an email. They go, oh, really? And they send back an email and they say something like, so is your email response rate low? Well, that's the same thing, sort of, but not really. So if they say if your email opens low, Or does your email open suck? Because if I use the word suck, what are the odds of me clicking on that email? It's like they're reading my mind, right? Well, we're going to talk about a very simple way to do this, simply using a word cloud and using a survey. And then we're going to talk about future pacing, which is all about taking somebody from a sale into the future, what their life is going to be like after they purchase your product or service. So this is literally speaking in present tense in the future. And I'm going to show you how this is done when I get to my slides. So everyone, hang tight. I'm going to pull up the slides here, and we're going to get started with the instructional part of this. Whoops, click the wrong button. There we go. Awesome. Buttons. Okay, so we covered visual mode. That was 2 days ago. That is the fact that your prospects need to have words that convey visual elements to them, because visuals are stronger than anything you can do. Story mode we did yesterday, and that is really tapping into something more powerful than your own words, certainly more powerful than any selling technique, and that is the prospect's imagination. So cover those videos. Those are all here on the sites, on the Facebook page, so check those things out. And then today, pacing. Future pacing and present pacing is what we're going to be talking about today. So pacing mode. See, I got it right. I did future mode on the slides, but on the Facebook lower third. But hey, it's pacing mode. I'm going to take a sip of water. Let's get started. So you can pace before by engaging your prospects via social media or surveys. You want to match their words in all their communications. You want to become louder than they are, even bigger versions of themselves. I want you to think about that. So if you say to me, John, my email, I'm going to use another example. I'll say, John, I'm really struggling with love handles. I hate my love handles. Love handles suck. And I come back to you and go, hey, what about thigh fat? Then obviously that's a disconnect. Even if you might have some thigh fat, you're like, no, I'm talking about love handles. Now I'm getting very granular here. It's very specific, but you can understand if I do a survey to my list and 65% of my list says love handles at the top of the survey as one of their big problems, then I would be really foolish not to put that in subject lines, put that in headlines, put that in conversation, and start speaking the specific way that they're saying it. And this is why I'm going to give you a tip to do this. It's basically a survey tip that is something it seems really obvious, but people don't do it. Now, you can future pace, and we're going to talk about that as soon as we get through the present pacing. So let me go to what I call prior pacing or present pacing. So here's what you do. You ask your prospects what words or phrases best describe their primary concern. Let's focus only on their problems, okay? And then you're going to ask them to type the words they use and then use a word cloud tool. So what people do is they send out surveys and they're multiple choice, but they forget to do the most important thing. They forget to ask the customer or prospect to write what they feel. And people are afraid to do this because someone will write a novel, right? And I get that. I completely get that. So there's a little trick that I use. This is not on the slide. You're going to have to be listening to hear this. Very simple. Send out a survey, a one-question survey. And you say, one question, I'm going to ask you one question, and it's going to really help you in ways that you cannot imagine. Please click this link and answer this one question. And so make them go to a site that you can actually collect the data and say, in 20 words or less. And I know there's a tool that's actually out there that you can actually, cut somebody off at 20 words. Use that if you can. That way no one can go into a long diatribe. In 20 words or less, explain what your number one concern is when it comes to X. What is your number one concern when it comes to losing weight? Your number one concern when it comes to email marketing? Your number one concern when it comes to parenting? Whatever niche you're in, what is your number one concern? The biggest thing, the one thing that's keeping you up at night. If I could solve, and there are several questions I ask, if I could wave a magic wand and solve one problem for you when it comes to blank, what would that be? And that's almost guaranteed to get a shorter answer, by the way. Now, you're going to get a lot of responses because people love to give you their thoughts, right? And then you're going to pull this into a word cloud. Just type in word cloud in Google. There's several free ones, and you probably know what they are. They look something like this. Now, this is a pretty word cloud. But in this example that I'm giving you, you can see one word leaping out at you, right? Users. Now, I've just pulled a word cloud at random off of Google just to show you the example of this. But what if my marketing was all about saying alert, like down here? So, hey, I know you're really concerned about alerts. Alerts. You think this is going to miss the target? Well, this is down here, yeah, or key, okay, software, information, that's not bad, but users, design, usability, and notice that users and usability. So you got one massive key word there. So if your language back to them is like, I'm as concerned about users as you are. I am becoming the user expert. I have dedicated myself to becoming the premier user authority on the internet. If you'll trust me with your time, I promise to help you find every solution there is to getting more users. Can you hear what I'm saying? So I'm not just echoing it back and just saying, well, users are important. I know that. I'm saying I'm now the user expert. So look how powerful that would be if you did, I'm the love handle guru. If you're not, which is most of the cases that you're not going to be the expert, here's how you can say that ethically. I have committed myself to becoming the love handle guru, the love handle expert. I'm going to research everything I can about love handles. I'm going to help you fight this. I'm going to figure out a way to do this. If you'll follow me, I'll promise you I'll help you do this. In fact, I've got something that will help you right now. It's X. Can you see how that's much better than going, you want to lose weight, buy X? That's called pacing. So if you're in a conversation with somebody, if you want to pace them, please do this ethically. You can do this very, very not so ethically. But if you're pacing someone, you're modeling their behavior. So if you notice, like when people are really know human communication and body language, like if I'm talking to someone that's got their legs crossed, say like the typical female way of crossing a leg, which is like where you've got the legs kind of tighter over each other, I'll cross my leg that way and match her body. So she feels immediately, and if she leans in, I'll lean in. I'll even put my hand on my chin and puts her hand on her chin. And people don't notice this unless they're really well trained in body language. I'm not doing anything nefarious. I'm just, by doing that, her animal calms down. That's how you make an animal calm down. If you want to know how people, look at lion tamers, they match the patterns of the animal. They feel less threat. Where people feel threatened is when your patterns are completely erratically different than theirs. That will make your amygdala fire off and go, wow, get the hell out of here. This is danger, Will Robinson. As opposed to matching and framing, like we're talking about right now. It's also called pacing. So literally I can pace their language. If someone will come on the call today, by the way, I still want to pull somebody on and test this cool picture-in-picture stuff. I swear I want to get somebody to do this today. I still have to figure out how. So hopefully my team is on here to help me figure out how to do it. But I can actually do some pacing exercises with you. So if you're talking to them, it's very simple. You can try this with your spouse or your mate or your significant other tonight, and just sit down and have a conversation with them. And if they're using words like, I'm just so triggered. Now, that's not a word I would use, for example. I'm triggered right now. I'm so triggered by this. And if I use the word back, yeah, I can see how that would trigger you. Yeah, that would trigger me too. I can understand that. Or if it wouldn't, they say, wow, tell me more. I'm curious about why that would trigger you. I'm using her, in this case, her word, and it's not mine. But what if I said, well, I can see why that would frustrate you. I can see why that would anger you. Someone might, who's a very high level communicator, say, I didn't say I was angry. So I'm giving you little tips for communication, but if you're interested. But really, this is what this is communication with the intent to sell something, with the intent to change someone's life. Okay, it's not, but you can use all this stuff on your personal life. So that is how you do this prior pacing stuff. Really cool. And then like I said, consistently echo these words back to them. Champion them. Become the champion of those words. I promise you, this one tip alone will double your marketing efforts if you do this. Just trust me. Now, the next thing is future pacing. And future pacing is a lot more fun for we copywriters because we get to be creative and we get to think of cool things to say. And I'm just going to give you one paragraph of future pacing, just one, and you will get the idea from here. A future pace is very simple. I'm going to write a sentence about you. I want you to pretend this is you. I'm actually going to put Email Copy Pro into that blank, as a matter of fact, just to be cool, right? I'm going to pretend this is you, and I'm talking to you as if this was a VSL. Okay, picture this as a VSL. It's just a few days after you purchased Email Copy Pro. Notice the tense. I didn't say, in a few days from now, you will purchase Email Copy Pro, or in a few days from now, you will X, you will feel X. That's not future pacing. I'm speaking as if it's already happened. It's just a few days after you purchased Email Copy Pro. You got a compliment today that you look like you lost some weight. Now, obviously, that wouldn't work for Email Copy Pro, so I'm going to change that. It's a few days after you purchased 4-Day Diet. You got a compliment today that you look like you lost some weight. You also noticed strangers looking at you. Notice all the verbs, they're past tense. You noticed strangers looking at you with a bit more interested. I should say interest. That's odd, you say, but nice. It's now been 10 days. Your stomach is flatter. Your cravings have decreased to the point you rarely think about food. You're in control. Your partner can't keep their hands off of you and your energy. Have you ever felt this good? So with the exception of misspelling interest, that is a really good future pace. That's all it is. But did you feel something when I'm reading it to you? Now, if you're engaged in a sales letter, if you're engaged in a selling process and you're interested in this product, this will transport you. This will take you from where you are into as far as I want to go. You are right now, there's a part of your brain that you are not consciously aware of that is picturing and literally calling up images of exactly what I'm saying as if it's already happened. And that's the freaky part. You're remembering the future. You're remembering the future. Isn't that trippy? This is one of the most persuasive language tools you can use, and only the best copywriters really use this stuff. Now, you'll hear this stuff all the time if you pay close attention to people who are like hypnotists, for example. They use future pacing all the time. But this is really, really powerful for copy. And obviously, again, I'm giving you tools that are completely neutral. I say this very, very cautiously, especially after the most recent tragedy that just happened. But these tools are like a firearm. They're like a weapon. A weapon can obviously, as we all know, can be used for absolute evil, and a weapon can be used for good. A weapon can be used to save someone's life. A weapon can be used to protect a home. So this is the same thing with words. So words can be weapons. They really can. How you say them and how you use them is completely up to you. My plea to you is that you use them as ethically as humanly possible. So this is a very cool way of seeing what future pacing looks like from an ethical point of view. Now, I do want to say a couple of things. If you haven't seen the Dynamic Blueprints workshop on email and how all this stuff is already built into the emails that we've already written for you and that literally write themselves, johnbenson.com/email. johnbenson.com/email. You definitely want to check out that. You can literally watch that replay. It's the latest workshop I did. We put it online. You register for it, just put your email in, and you can watch it immediately. So we've got a just in time for you. Or if you can't do it like right now, that's cool. Put the time in that you can. Send you an email to remind you. Definitely want to watch that before we take that down. Okay, that's awesome. johnbenson.com/email. So that is the pacing. That is the pacing part of our lesson today. And I'm going to come back over here. And I'm going to also put that into the link down here. So give me a second. And then we will take some questions. Was that helpful? You guys think about that? What did you guys think about that? Okay, cool. Got lots of questions coming in here. So, okay. Yeah. So Scott said, I saw my spouse on my personality value. Yeah. Like I said, I think in one of our earlier calls, my ex-wife said, "Did you NLP me?" Not to get you, I just NLP'd you afterwards. So, in some really fun ways too. Totally innocent, but innocent meaning nothing negative. Okay. So Yoshi, how do I get notice alerts for John's live? I haven't received that. That's a good question. I need one of my team to come on and answer that question. So either Leanne or Liana can come on. I think Liana is struggling through a sinus headache, but I think Leanne might be on. So they should come up. So that's really weird. Facebook has been acting really strange lately, so hopefully we can get that to answer for you. So, John, have you found that people are just too lazy to really answer such surveys? No. I mean, not everyone will. You might get 10% of your audience, but you got to think that if the 10% who answer they're your hot buyers. So the other 90% will maybe never buy from you, and eventually will drift into that 10% if they do. So the 10%ers are who you want to go after. So go after those 10%ers and do that. Don't be freaked out if 10 people answer out of a list of 1,000. Awesome, you got your top buyers going. Well, preferably 100, but you get the idea. Yeah. So Mateo, as Robert Collier, who I like a lot, said, always enter the conversations taking place in someone's mind. That's right. I didn't even have to rehearse that because that's such a famous marketing quote. Yeah, you're entering the conversation in their mind, and I'm taking it a little step further. You're entering the conversation, you're using their words, and then you can future pace them based on that same conversation. So you can take that conversation into the future and actually make them remember that. Randall, what software is go into Google and type in word cloud, and there's like tons of free word cloud things you can buy. WordPress has a plugin for it. It's cheap, so that's what we use here. Okay, so I do some I can use my phone to come on if that. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. It may. If here's what we need to do. Hi. Oh, Liana's here. So Liana, if you can hear me, there's no place down here that allows me to say I see add a poll, add a photo, or share your desktop. There's not a there's a bring a guest into the broadcast from the lobby below, but there's no button to bring in a guest from the lobby below. So can you tell me how to do that, or somebody that knows Be Live? This is great. So we'll bring somebody on here. So Jim's great. A lot of people saying great stuff. Thank you so much. As we're waiting for that answer, Terry, do you use future pacing to instill fear as an ethical? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I use it to, again, because we are unfortunately more motivated by fear than we are by pleasure. So when I'm talking about if you don't take action, here's what will happen to you, you know. And sometimes I've done future pacing like that. In 30 days from today, it's 30 days from today, and you're feeling even worse than you were feeling 30 days ago. It's kind of like you have to think about it. Like you're actually talking about something that hasn't happened yet, but it is a very, very cool technique. Yeah, so you can do that. Awesome. So, okay. Okay. So here's what, okay. Francis, I'm going to get to your statement here in a moment. Says that, I think you need to be on your computer to join because John will be, but yes, he might need to be on the computer, and we can get anyone else that wants to come on camera. That's awesome. We'll do a little Q&A. We'll do a little pacing stuff. If not, that's cool. We'll do it tomorrow. But Liana, the problem is that there's not a button down here to click to say, bring a guest in. So I don't know what's going on with that. So, so we got Francis saying, I must say here, visual persuasion workshop. I was able to use that method to diffuse a highly charged emotional crowd. Wow, awesome. I kept typing in visual words on. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. I am so happy to hear that. I'm really, really glad. So it's so cool how that works. The stuff I'm talking about, I keep coming back to relationships because for me, that's the most important thing in the world. So, all this stuff is so valuable to use in interpersonal relationships. And a lot of it's the irony is copywriters are known for being one of two things: either really, really good in relationships or the absolute worst pieces of crap on the face of the planet. But that's because you can the mind is a little bit weird. But as far as communication goes, this stuff is really awesome. And I've been in love with communication since I was a kid. So what's the best resource to learn to become more proficient with future pacing? There's a couple of guys online that teach NLP courses that deal. Harlan Kilstein has an NLP course that's real good, and I'm trying to think of the other guy that has it. I'm drawing a blank on his name, and he's really good at it. But you can look at Harlan's stuff, so that's a good start to use. What I use for the survey, honestly, there's a WordPress plugin that you can use, and just send them that. So WordPress has several survey plugins. In fact, Liana may be able to answer that question here for us. So, okay, so she's saying that we need to send a guest a special link from Be Live. They will use that link to come into the lobby. Okay, so I don't see a place to create that link. Oh, here's hey, I guess. Hey, here it is. Copy the clipboard. Okay, great. So who wants to come on? I'm going to try something. Anyone want to come on camera? Anyone want to try? Okay, he'll have to work around here. Oh, come on, guys, you can do it. This is just my CNN, Fox News moment here. So if anyone's got a camera and wants to come on, ping me. I figured out how to do this. A little clunky, but it works. By the way, this is not beer. This is Perrier. So awesome. Oh, come on, you guys are all David Snyder, I know, and Steve G. Jones. Yeah, so thank you, Alex. I'll put this on here real quick. Steve Jones is, I know Steve, he's a friend of mine, and his stuff is really great for hypnosis and for NLP. So yeah. So Bodgun, okay, I'm gonna try to send you a link. All right, so Liana, now it's your turn to tell me how to send this to him, because it's like it says I can add guests. I got the link copied, but I don't see any way to communicate with him. So let's do it. You guys hang with me. This is going to be fun. Trust me. I hope. So I'm waiting for, I like the software, but it's not the most intuitive software on the planet. I got to be honest with you. So let me click on the chat here. Team chat. Okay. I can chat with my guests. All right. I have no idea. So tell me if you guys get this. If you guys get this, then hey, killer. And then somebody can click that link and come on. So Liana, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping you on Skype, and you can post the link in here because I don't know why it's not coming up here, and we can work around this later. Yeah, thanks for the hanging in there, guys. This is don't you think this is cool stuff here? That this this techie stuff that we're talking about that's really really powerful. I think it's cool. Hopefully you guys think it's cool. Okay, and Liana, I just Skyped that to you. So have no idea if that'll work, but maybe you can post that link to Bogdan and we'll give it a shot. Okay, so cool. I'm going to contrast and compare future pacing in political campaigns. Oh man, yeah, you know what? I've seen one guy, I can't remember who it was, that did this, and it was like he, of course, did it with fear. You know, it's like he took you into a dystopian future. Which I'm going to be shocked if there isn't a lot of that coming from the Democrat Party, like a lot of ads showing dystopian future right now going on. But that is the definition of future pacing. Of course, it's visual future pacing. So, yeah, cool. Another session loaded with value bombs. Okay, cool, Mark. Appreciate you coming, man. Thank you for saying that. So, hey, there's a copy. So you can't click it. Okay. All right. Well, hey guys, we tried. So I'm going to get on my team here. I'm going to get on with them after this, and we're going to figure out how the hell to do this so that we can do this tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to dive into some cool stuff, a little bit of a surprise. But we're going to talk about what I call the 4 quadrants of desire: wants, feeds, needs, and actions, and why they're so important to craft the ultimate form of persuasion. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Hey, wait, we can't go now because somebody actually figured out how to get in here. So 1 second here. Somebody popped in. Give me a second. To craft the ultimate form of persuasion. Okay, can you mute, Mark? Hey, wait, we can't go now because somebody actually figured out how to get in here. So 1 second here. Somebody popped in. Okay. We need the ultimate form of persuasion. Okay, can you mute, Mark? Hey, wait, we can't go now because somebody actually figured out how to get in here. So somebody popped in. Okay, we need the ultimate form of persuasion. Okay, can you mute, Mark? You guys mute. Somebody actually figured out how to get in here. So somebody popped in. Somebody's gonna mute you. Okay, I can mute you guys. Sorry. Okay. Hey, I'm learning this, so give me a second here. All right, so we're going to try this and get rid of this. So awesome. Okay, so Mark, you guys, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm learning this. Give me a second. All right. Can you mute your external volume or turn it down? Get rid of this. So awesome. Okay, so Mark, you guys, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm learning. Okay. So, okay, well, can you hear me live? Can you like?
I can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah, I think it's just one of those things where you can't listen. Unfortunately, you can't hear what I'm saying without hearing the echo back. So, but yeah, this is the idea, guys. This is the idea. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're working on it. So it's kind of cool. How are you, Mark? Without hearing the echo back. So, but yeah, this is the idea. So, you get it? We're getting there. We're working on it. So it's kind of cool. How are you, Mark?
I'm good, but I got to leave. I've got a meeting to go to.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on and giving this a shot. So we'll try to get our sound down.
We'll get there in the end.
All right, brother. Thanks. All right, we're going to try one more. Yes, thanks for sticking with this. This could be a shit show. All right, let's see if we can. So, Alexandros?
Hey there. Yeah. Hi, John. Can you hear me?
This actually works. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so easily amused. I think I'm just easily amused. I'm going to show your name there just because that's like a, yeah, because we're narcissists. I got my bias. I'm just trying to learn this software. So since we're on here, we're on here. We might as well do like a really quick pacing thing if you want to. So tell me what your number one concern is when it comes to marketing.
When it comes to marketing, when it comes to actually, I sell digital marketing services to businesses and small businesses and consultants. Okay, and my primary concern is that, and I also build websites. So my primary concern is that building websites takes way too much time for me in relatively to providing marketing services. And I do that, but I want to stop doing that actually. That's my
So,
problem.
so tell me what's painful about way too much time. When I say way too much time, what comes into your mind?
Yeah, less money in.
Yeah. Okay. So did you say less money?
Yep.
Okay. So less money and way too much time. So if I could help you solve something that would take way less time and make more money, would that be interesting to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm doing something very simple here. And you heard what I did. It's like he said, way too much time. He used those specific words. He didn't say it just takes longer than I like. So here's how not to pay someone. So what I'm hearing is that this takes longer than you would like it to. Now, don't get me wrong. If I said that, Alexander would probably go, yeah, you're getting it. He's just not going to feel that. Again, we're talking about the part of the brain that's very primitive, this amygdala part of our brain that we just want to feel this animal connection with each other. He's not going to feel that. He's not going to feel as comfortable if I use his exact words back to him. So that's all I was doing. And sometimes it could be that simple, way too much time versus this is becoming a time constraint. We want to use our own words. Like I would say that, I'm spending a shitload of time or something. So if someone was echoing back to me, obviously they'd say, okay, so shitload of time is not a good thing. That's all this is. But you're doing it on a mass scale. You're doing it on a scale where you're appealing to either 500 or 1,000 or 50,000, however big your list is. And you get a conglomerate of that by the word cloud, and you just start using those words, and you use them in subject lines, and you use them in the email, and you use them in the VSLs, and just watch what happens. So, yeah. Well, so Alexander, thank you so much for coming on and
Awesome. Thank you, John.
I appreciate that. So cool, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around for another session. Man, we're always ending at exactly 30 minutes. I think it feels like it's planned, but it just so happens to be, but 30 minutes. So I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're going to be talking about this 4 quadrants of desire. Again, our goal is to build massive desire. And then we're going to dive into some kick-ass persuasion stuff later. I am going to be flying to Genius Network. If anyone wants to come to Genius Network, that's the big annual event that Joe Polishes has every year. There's going to be about 350 of the most badass marketers on the planet and really famous dudes in that room. This is your chance for 3 days to hobnob with literally the most powerful people on the planet when it comes to marketing and persuasion. Just an absolutely stellar event. I go every year. It's worth every penny. If you want to go to that, ping me because I can't get you a discount on it, but what I can do is give you 2 hours of private coaching if you get it through me. I don't make a commission on it, but that's the deal I made with Joe Polish. So if anyone wants to go and you can afford the 10 grand, it's 10 grand. It's worth every penny. It's 3 days long, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. If you want to go, you will get 10 grand given right back to you because I'm $5 grand an hour and Jason's $5 grand an hour. We're going to do a 2-hour coaching call with you and really accelerate your business needs. So if you want to do that, best way to reach me is just support@johnbenson.com. And we'll get you set up. But otherwise, I'm going to be gone 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but I'm still going to be broadcasting. So that's my intention, at least, that's the hotel gods willing. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right, take care. Thanks.